What's going on, family? It's Zach back with another video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about dream interpretation. A few simple steps I have that you can use to interpret your dreams and really why you should do this in the first place. Now, before we really jump in, this is a video that I really got the idea of simply because people ask me more than anything, how do I interpret my astral projections? Now, I have kind of abstained from making astral projection videos simply because the more that I got into astral projection, the more I realized that it kind of doesn't mean anything at all. I mean, it's pure infinity essentially, and so I know that some of my most popular videos originally on YouTube were about astral projection, just kind of my experiences with it. But it got to the point eventually that I was astral projecting, multiple times almost every single day. And I realized that astral projecting and dreaming are so much different. Dreaming is happening pretty much 100% within your subconscious mind. Now, most of us astral project on a very regular basis, we just don't even realize it. And we might think that those are dreams. And so it's kind of up to you to understand the difference. And maybe I'll just kind of jump into the difference real quick. Again, dreams are happening 100% within your subconscious. Usually you're going to be able to identify certain elements that you experience in waking life that have just become, exacerbated in some kind of personalized form within a dream. Astral projection is quite simply your conscious leaving your body and it is going off and experiencing literally anything, right? Infinite vibrational states, your conscious is aligning with those vibrational states and entering kind of a 3-dimension like we are experiencing right now. It is very feeling and experience based. For those of you that have astral projected, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. It's very clear when it is not a dream. For those of you that have never astral projected, it's going to be nearly impossible to explain it to you if you've never done it before. And so let me know in the comments if you guys want a quick tutorial. Happy to give you a tutorial on how to astral project. I think that it's beneficial for pretty much anybody to experience, especially if you are on a journey of experiencing the consciousness, a journey of spiritual expansion. Astral projection is an invaluable tool. And so happy to make a video on how to do it. Might make more experience videos in the future, but for now the bottom line is that people wanted a video on how to interpret astral projections. I have no idea. I personally don't think you really can. And that said, dreaming totally can interpret it. Very, very beneficial to interpret it. So let's jump in. So there are 2 factors that we're going to talk about. The first is feeling. The second is the actual elements within the dream. By feeling, I quite literally mean the emotional and vibrational experience that you have while you are in the dream. If somebody threatens you and you feel fear, if somebody lusts after you and you feel this kind of sexual excitement, and then with those 2 emotional states, all of the various, little details about each variation of that state. In my opinion, that is the #1 thing to observe. As soon as you're able to take a note of these feelings, right? Write them down and do some regressive practice. Ask yourself, when was the first time that I experienced this feeling? Maybe what kinds of things in my life caused me to experience this feeling on the regular? This is the most important step that I have for you, quite simply because asking yourself, when do I experience these things on a regular basis and what causes me to, be triggered by these things can give you an idea of your patterns of inner state. You're going to notice that there are trends, right? There are similarities that happen in your waking life that cause you to experience this state of being. Now, this isn't always as simple as it sounds. Sometimes your subconscious is just processing things that it wants to experience or it is afraid to experience, and thus things that you have been kind of bottling up or building up a lot of potential energy around are going to manifest in your dreams. Examples might include phobias. So for a lot of people, they experience their phobias on a very regular basis within their dreams. Simply put though, you guys, feeling is really the #1 thing that you can get out of your dreams. Analyzing your dreams for the various feelings that you're experiencing, associating with them things that you experience on a regular basis in the real world, or maybe it's just a one-off thing, and then figuring out ways that you can tinker that to adjust your personal being. The difference between people that actually get a lot out of their dreams in regards to personal progress and people that just kind of like cast dreams into the bucket of irrelevance is the work that they do after the dream. And so we'll talk a lot more about this later on in the video, but for right now, the bottom line is that you're going to take this information and then you're going to adjust your being. You are going to shift things within your mind. You're going to kind of go through imaginal faculties that allow you to change your regular behaviors, and ultimately you're going to experience different things in your dreams, but also in your waking lives. Letting go of traumas, letting go of fears, really doubling down on abundance, or using positive signs as an indicator that you're doing the right thing and allowing that to empower you more and more. the next set of factors that you're going to want to keep tabs of are the actual elements of the dream. And now, for most people, you might be thinking, well, shouldn't this be number one? Well, it's not as important, I'll be honest with you guys. I think that your subconscious mind has, the capacity to create huge amounts of variation. And, the elements, they matter to some degree. They kind of influence the feelings, if that makes sense. It's kind of the way that I say that thoughts are subsequent to feelings. So, you're going to have an originating feeling and then a bunch of subsequent thoughts, and it's the same kind of thing. So the actual elements, the people, the places, the objects, the experiences that happen within the dream are just allowing, they're like the characters. They're just the shadows on the wall that are allowing the feelings to manifest. But that said, they are important to some degree, and so let's talk about it. Similar to the way I said take tabs on the feelings, you're going to take tabs on what the actual elements are. Who are the people? Where is the dream taking place, if that really matters? What sorts of objects came into play, and really what was the story that was playing out within the dream? If you're not used to recalling dreams, a lot of this stuff is not going to be very easy to remember, but do your best. Again, once you have your information, just see what kinds of associations you can make. What relationships do you have with the people that were in the dream? Can the situations that were playing out with specific people speak to larger relationship dynamics that you might be having? What kinds of things are you associating with the scenes or the settings that things are playing out in? Maybe you have a lot of resentment for a certain location. Maybe you have a deep desire to be in a certain location. Again, though, I'm going to come back to the point that feeling really matters more than anything. You're really going to want to understand the feelings more so than anything, because that is what you can shift. This is a great segue into what to actually do with this information. Now, for you, it might be nothing. But if you want to really leverage these experiences for personal progress, you absolutely can. And I think, again, it's one of the best practices that you can do if you're a person on a spiritual journey, on a personal development journey in general. So go back to your list of associations and start to make as many as you can. Have conversations with yourself as far as, what does this feeling mean to me? Where am I experiencing this feeling on a regular basis with specific people? Where in the dynamics of this relationship that we're playing out in the dream, where are those dynamics playing out in real life? You can click the link in the description below and we'll do some dream interpretation together. Until then, you guys, the bottom line is you just need to do as much dimensionalization as possible. I recommend that after you have, picked out as many associations as possible, as far as characters, as far as other elements within the dream, start to ask yourself where these kinds of associations are materializing on a regular basis in your day-to-day life. You're going to notice that issues that you have with people in dreams are just, massively blown up versions of issues that you have in your day-to-day life. Now, this is where the real work begins, because after you have created these associations, you're going to want to start to ask yourself, what do I want to experience, right? I know that my relationship with this specific person is really, really bad, and so that's why there was this, crazy traumatic event that happened in the dream. You could just leave it at that, but what you probably want to do is experience more positivity, and so you're going to want to go in your mind and start to make those adjustments as needed. I recommend going into your mind and kind of going back into that dream scene and just coming to terms with the way that things felt. Just kind of taking a few deep breaths and saying, okay, this is what happened in the dream. I know that, XYZ and I had this massive fight. To me, that's an indicator that our relationship is a little bit rocky. So what I'm going to do is just realize that there is kind of some tension here, and I'm going to practice letting that tension go. I'm going to practice going in my mind, sending that person loving kindness. Highly recommend a very basic loving kindness mantra, just something like, seeing the person in your mind and saying, may they be happy, may they be healthy, may they live with ease, and believing it, genuinely hoping that that person is feeling good and feeling positive. In doing this, you're going to start to release a lot of tension and start to be a lot more creative rather than reactionary. This genuine practice of peace and releasing tension is one that is going to start to shift the way that your conscious mind interprets that person. You're going to notice that your experiences in the third dimension are going to be a lot more positive. Maybe if you see that person on a regular basis, you're going to find yourself being a lot more calm, a lot more chill around them, and they might be, still a little bit tense, still a little bit negative, but you're not going to let yourself react. You're definitely going to notice the difference in your dreams because, again, you have released this tension, and so you're no longer holding on to these fears, and you can experience more positivity and more ease in your relationships with them, even in the imaginal states. Very simply, the 2 steps are just number 1, make the associations, recognize how you're feeling, and then 2, become creative. Identify how you want to feel, identify the experiences that you want to be having, and then watch as things shift. It really is that easy, you guys. So this was a super crash course version of how to interpret your dreams. If you guys have any more questions or comments, go ahead and drop them below. I'm happy to get to you. I know this wasn't as comprehensive as it probably could have been. I just kind of made this video on the whim. But that said, I do think this practice is super powerful, and I want you guys to get the most out of it. And so feel free to ask any questions. Don't hesitate to reach out. I want to make this stuff as beneficial for you guys as possible. If you do want some more personalized help on your expansion journey, there is a link below that you can sign up for coaching with me. Otherwise, like this video, it does something to the algorithm, so people that wouldn't normally see this video will see this video. Subscribe to my channel and hit that little notification bell so you get more videos on mind, body, spirit transformation content just like this. But until next time, you guys, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I will talk to you soon. Namaste. Much love. Bye-bye.